One of the chains on the Jeep was starting to come off, so I had to stop anyway. I'm going to talk a little bit about some fire starter. One of the best you can find in the woods comes from old rotten stumps or around the bigger limbs from rotten logs that have tipped over and turned to almost powder. It's pitchwood. In the eastern states, I guess they call it fatwood. It usually got kind of a yellowish color to it. It's heavy, it's waterproof for the most part, and it smells really strongly of pitch, and it burns really well. If you sharpen it to a little bit of a point, usually you'll light a little bit easier. And I was going to compare this to a fire starter that I just learned about here this last year from Lars from Survival Russia. It's just rubber inner tube. What I really like about it is you can get it anywhere, really. I mean, lots of car inner tubes around. You could soak this in the water for a month. It wouldn't matter. This stuff, it might. Most of the time it's pretty well waterproof, but it doesn't always work out that way. But it burns really well once you get it going. It'll burn for quite a while. I mean, 5-10 minutes probably. And I set her down here in the snow. The drawback is there's a lot of black smoke, which you have with the pitchwood too. But who cares if you're trying to stay warm? Pitchwood, yeah, now the wind's going to pick up. A little harder to get lit. This is kind of a big piece too. If it was smaller, it would help. But let's see if I can't cut a little sliver off of this here quick. Alright, now, what do I do with my lighter? There it is. The good thing about pitchwood is you can find it in the woods when you need it, but not always. A lot of the time, if there's a lot of snow, it's harder to find. But, I can't even get this one to stay lit. But take a look at that inner tube. That stuff, I mean, if you can't get a fire going in the snow like that, then you've got a problem. That pitchwood right there on top. And, 5-6 strips of that in your pocket and a few more in your backpack, and you got it made. Doesn't matter how wet it is or anything else. Now the pitchwood's burning. Turn it that way, maybe. Either one is really good. And good to know if you need to get a fire going in the wintertime when everything's wet. You could, as well as that's burning with no sticks or anything else, you should be able to put some even wet twigs on top of that and get a fire going. The other thing with the inner tube, if you got 5 or 6 strips in your pocket, it's just a matter of when. It's not if you can get a fire going. So, anyway, I just thought that was kind of a neat deal, and a beautiful day up here. I wish I'd got something in my traps, but that's the way it goes. Well, I have to anyway, if you like this video, the biggest reason for me to do this is to try to make a little bit of money. So please subscribe and comment or Bush Light or any of those things, and maybe eventually I can pay for my gas. Adios.